then guess what happens? That is the first step to having it all. You see, we were taught backwards. We're taught, okay, if I get all the money and I get the house and I get the car and I get this and I get the kids and I have a stable life, then we will be able to, and it's true, if you don't have a home or good transportation or financial, material stability, it's not so easy to be foundational. It's true to a certain extent. However, that leads to success in the outside. But success on the inside, it takes a different step. We have to look within ourselves. When we access our intuition and we have a connection to our soul, then we live longer. We live healthier lives. We become happier. Because now the inner part of us is fulfilled and connected. That's when we feel connected and alive and vibrant and amazing. The connection. So, I talked about in the beginning, if you were a person, it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, and what your challenge is, access your intuition. Connect with your soul's higher purpose. The first stage of life. Release and connect with others and share your light, your message, your joy, whatever you're here to do. And when you do that, you will inspire, you will become magnetic, you will attract to you the thing you thought you didn't have. Your challenges, your pain, whether it's a health issue, a mental issue, a financial issue, the solutions will start to present themselves. Very simply. And you'll go from struggle to success. That is the path to success. Why? Why will you go from struggle to success so quickly? With just a shift in mindset, in this simple mindset. It's our brain. We're rewiring, reprogramming our brain. Because now we're using the totality of our resources, inner resources and outer resources. We're using our IQ, which is, intelligence quotient. Or we're using our intelligence. Then we're using EI, our emotional intelligence goes up. When we're happier, our personality is more magnetic. When our personalities are more magnetic, what happens is we start to bubble up and we said people can smell a fraud from a million, and they can, I'm very blunt and I have to apologize about that sometimes, but we can smell bullshit from, we can smell BS from a very, very far away. We can sense that these days. The children are very intelligent. I watch Raj, and when he's around, and if his emotion, I trust that because he's pure. His emotional intelligence, his high, children have high emotional intelligence. So do we. If we get upset at something, it's telling us something, isn't it? It means something around us in our environment is triggering a response. It's not right. See, these are soft skills that we don't learn in school. Unless, of course, we're blessed to be psychologists and psychiatrists and neurologists and mindset teachers and people in high positions of power that have access to counseling all the time. I'm just blessed that I've had counseling during my sister's murder. I had a counselor and a shrink, and she was amazing. She gave me all these tools to become a better person and to deal with that PTSD from her death. Now, I don't have that so much. There's a mental trigger here and there. I wanted to inspire. I won't talk about the experience because it was tremendously negative, but I had to enter the world of law enforcement for a couple of months. like some things were going on, around. I won't get into it, but anyways, it was very challenging. It was the most intense thing I ever dealt with. And then I sat down and I looked at, I thought, wait a minute. I'm having such a hard time with like a little bit. But what about people that live with this day in and day out? What about our veterans who come back after shock and trauma and war, and they try to assimilate? What about our doctors? Did you know that suicide is the highest in doctors? Suicide is the highest in our military men and women returning back from war. Over 21 a day, every day. Or maybe it's 21 an hour. Someone correct me. A friend of mine who was a lieutenant, a Marine, he told me that. Because these were his buddies where we lived in San Diego. There's a huge military presence with Camp Pendleton there. Had friends there. Suicide was so high. Programmed to die. Programmed to self-destruct. When I was in the world of law enforcement, I thought, I can't mention names, but so many good officers. There's a few corrupt ones for sure. We have that everywhere. Can't let one bad apple spoil the bunch, right? There's always one or two, but as a whole, 80 to 90% of the people that I dealt with were pure, good, great, amazing human beings. But the environment, all day long, negative people, negative experiences, challenging. You might be a customer service representative and you're constantly dealing with people whining, bitching, and complaining all day. Or you're in an environment where you're constantly bombarded with stress. Or you're in an environment where you have to constantly spin the money wheel and make sales. Or you're in an environment where you're physically in heat, in Phoenix heat. We had a couch. I was trying to set up the studio, and we had a couch delivered. And a gentleman said, you've got great weather here. And I was like, yeah, it's been raining a lot, and Sedona is very cool compared. Well, Phoenix, when I thought about it, so I stepped in his mind and said, well, I know why he said that, because he's out there driving a truck in 120-degree heat, what in a truck would be much, much hotter, and he is outside in the midday sun, having to lift heavy furniture. Made me understand more about what he was saying. And that is one of the most important second keys to understanding and successes. We step into the other person's shoes. Walk 1,000 steps. Forget a mile. Walk 1,000 steps in the other person's shoes. And if you can do that, whatever your challenge, the information that you're feeding and programming your brain with, instead of it being on the self, on the me, on the I, on the ego, you turn it outwards and you look at the other. An understanding. Understanding is a simple word. You stand under. You stand under. I allowed myself to stand under our planet, our world, the forest, the trees, the ocean life, the whales and the dolphins. Did you know? I watched an episode. It breaks my heart. It probably makes me cry. Our world, we have done great with keeping the cost of production low. So we import a lot of things and we outsource to other countries. We don't buy and grow local. And so there's a lot of shipping, transport. It's gone up. Like there's so many ships in the ocean right now. And there's a documentary done about whales. These ginormous big creatures. And a gentleman in the Bahamas, he lived there for over 20 years, and he'd swim with the whales and he'd be with the whales and our planet and love the whales. And then we talk about, oh, these whales are being beached. These whales are being beached. Beached whales, yeah, whatever. We're busy with our world, blah, blah, blah. But I watched this documentary, and what happened was he had the intuition to go and take that whale, a whale that had just died, put it on ice, freeze it like real quick, get it, they shipped it and they flew it over to, I believe it was a Harvard lab, to study what's happening with these whales that are, we call beached whales, these whales that are dying. And what they found through the CAT scan is that we are murdering sea life. The dolphins and the whales work with sonar, sound, and they navigate, and their babies, being a mom, their babies find the mommy whales with, certain, like, I teach meditation with whale and dolphin sounds. I used to. I haven't done it in many, many years, but when I was very, very high spiritual state with cosmic accounting, I used to almost upload and download whale songs. Well, Sedona used to be underwater, so the spirit of the whales and the dolphins is still here. I can hear them. You wake up, you hear the clicks of dolphins, very high, and underwater. Sedona, there's a lot of underwater, and you can literally, if you're in a deep state of meditation, you'll hear the dolphins underneath clicking and, playing and communicating. In San Diego, dolphins would just swim by the hundreds. So amazing to go by the beach and Encinitas and stand over the shore and just hear and watch. I have pictures, beautiful, come up to and just play, They're community-oriented beings. And because of our modern world and our technologies and the noise that we've created in the ocean and the noise in our life, we're responsible for the catastrophic murder and death of sea life like never before. We, as the guardians and the stewards of this great planet, have to wake up. And we have to connect our jobs as employees and businesses and be responsible stewards. And what I mean by that is it's been proven that when we are connected to our higher self, we're connected to our planet, we take actions in alignment with, for example, I help thousands of children right now all over the world, and it's never enough. There's always more. To have food, clothing, shelter, slippers. I sponsor about 7 or 8 charities right now. We're from Africa to here to dentistry to nuns and monks, and I want to do 100. I only have about 7 or 8. So that means I have to up my game. I am a philanthropist and I am a humanitarian. I did say that. I'm hoping that this video is inspiring you to connect your life, your one little cell body, to the 8 billion on the planet. Connection, engagement, love and connection. To align your mission, your vision, your purpose, your business, your dreams, your life to the bigger picture. As one family, on one earth ship, and under one plane, one globe, one world, for good and service to others. So with that said, I will be releasing the manuscript for, Soul Mastery, 5 keys. It was 8 keys, but I just wanted it completed. And so the next 3 keys I will reserve for another book. And I wanted it in your hands. You've been waiting for 9 months, the time it takes to make a baby since January. We're going in September, and it's been gestating. So I'm about to give birth, 8.5 months pregnant with this book. It's on the first. It's kind of like, my water hasn't broken yet, but it is coming. And first edit is done. I want to get a second and third edit. I am a recovering perfectionist, so it has to be pretty awesome for me to release it to you. But the book is phenomenal energy, phenomenal. And like now that I'm done, I'm like, oh my God, I got wings. When we get to that place where we release our message and our soul's purpose, I'll tell you, yes, getting there. When we don't do it, okay, we get a lot of negative backlash, heart disease, mental issues, financial problems, all kinds of negative things happen when we don't. I know because I was there. But when we do it and we step into it, I'm telling you, it's like a new lease on life. You're like, I don't remember having a baby. I feel like I'm, 18 all over again, or I'm like 21 all over again. You feel like, like you're flying. That's what I want for you. I want you in your business, when you wake up, when you go to your job, in your careers. It doesn't matter what you do or what you did or who you are. These simple processes that allowed me to recover from, PTSD from my sister's murder, from immense financial struggles, it doesn't matter what the mental, emotional challenge is. That challenge exists because we need a healing. We need to find that place. And it's not that we don't have the material things on the outside. What I'm saying is it's the stuff in the inside. It's our software. It's our belief systems, it's our mindsets, it's our intelligence. Whether it's our emotional intelligence, our spiritual intelligence, or our, intellectual intelligence. And there's so many others that I haven't named, but those physical intelligence. It's all connected. We're a connected system.